I slammed the door of my family's sprawling Dallas mansion, the echo reverberating like a gunshot through the marble halls, my heart pounding as I realized the web of lies I'd spun had just tightened into a noose. "Aubrey, you can't keep pretending forever," my sister's voice had cracked over the phone earlier that day. But now, facing the ultimatum from my conservative parents, I knew the fake lesbian identity I'd adopted for family peace was about to cost me everything. And there she was, Audrey Harrington, the controlling Texas businesswoman they'd arranged for me to marry, standing in the foyer with a predatory smile that promised dominance and destruction. Aubrey Thompson had always been the family's peacemaker, the one who smoothed over the cracks in their polished southern facade. Growing up in the heart of Dallas, where oil money flowed like the Trinity River and traditions ran deeper than the roots of ancient oaks, she'd learned early on that conformity was the price of harmony. Her parents, Eleanor and Harlan Thompson, were pillars of the community, Harlan a real estate mogul who'd built an empire on handshake deals and Bible verses, Eleanor a socialite who chaired charity galas with the precision of a military general. But beneath the Sunday brunches and holiday gatherings lurked a tension that threatened to shatter it all. It started innocently enough, or so Aubrey told herself. At 22, fresh out of college with a degree in journalism she rarely used, she'd come out as lesbian during a heated family dinner. It wasn't true, not entirely. She'd dated men in secret, casual flings that fizzled out, but the announcement was a calculated deflection. Her older brother Jake had just been arrested for embezzlement from the family business, and the scandal was ripping them apart. By shifting the spotlight to her revelation, Aubrey hoped to unite them in shared disapproval, a common enemy to rally against. If I can be the black sheep, she'd thought, maybe they'll stop tearing each other to pieces. It worked for a while. The Thompsons closed ranks, their whispers of "poor Aubrey, she'll come around" masking the deeper fractures. Jake got probation, the business stabilized, and Aubrey played the part flawlessly, attending pride events, bringing home girlfriends who were paid actresses from local theater troupes. But lies have a way of evolving, and soon the family's concern turned to intervention. Enter Audrey Harrington. At 35, she was the epitome of Texas grit and glamour. A self-made millionaire who'd turned her family's failing ranch into a thriving agribusiness empire. With piercing blue eyes, a sharp bob haircut that screamed efficiency, and a wardrobe of tailored suits that hid a physique honed by early morning rides across her vast property, Audrey exuded control. She'd been a family friend for years, her late father a business partner of Harlan's. When the Thompsons learned of Audrey's own quiet admission of being gay, whispered in elite circles, she became their salvation plan. "Aubrey, darling," Eleanor had said one evening over sweet tea on the veranda, her voice laced with that faux southern sweetness, "we've arranged something wonderful. Audrey's agreed to a marriage. It'll stabilize you, give you purpose. And think of the merger, our real estate with her lands. It's perfect." Aubrey's stomach had dropped. "Marriage? Mom, I barely know her." Harlan's face hardened. "You chose this path, girl. Now own it. Or watch this family fall apart for good." The wedding was set for 6 months out, a lavish affair at Audrey's ranch outside Austin. Aubrey met her fiancé formally at an engagement dinner, where Audrey's grip on her hand was firm, almost possessive. "I know this is arranged," Audrey whispered as they posed for photos, her breath warm against Aubrey's ear. "But I'll make it real. You'll see." In the weeks that followed, Aubrey moved into Audrey's sprawling ranch house, a modern marvel of glass and stone overlooking rolling hills dotted with longhorns. It was supposed to be a trial period, but it felt like a cage. Audrey's control was subtle at first, scheduling Aubrey's days with helpful itineraries, critiquing her wardrobe for not being professional enough, insisting on joint appearances at business events. "Image is everything in Texas," Audrey would say, her tone leaving no room for argument. Yet amidst the tension, sparks flew. Late nights poring over business plans turned into shared glasses of bourbon by the fire pit. Audrey's stories of bootstrapping her company from near bankruptcy revealed a vulnerability beneath the steel exterior. A childhood marked by her father's alcoholism and her mother's abandonment. "I built this to prove I don't need anyone," Audrey confessed one evening, her eyes softening as she looked at Aubrey. "But maybe I do." Aubrey found herself drawn in, the fake role blurring into something genuine. Was it the isolation, the forced proximity? Or was there truth in the lie she'd told? She caught herself admiring Audrey's confidence, The way she commanded a room. The rare smiles that lit up her face like the Texas sun. One afternoon during a horseback ride across the property, Audrey pulled her horse close. "You're not what I expected," she said, her voice low. Softer but stronger too. Their first kiss happened under a canopy of stars, impulsive and charged. Aubrey pulled away, heart racing. "This isn't real," she murmured. Audrey's hand cupped her cheek. "It could be." But doubt crept in. Aubrey overheard Audrey on a call, her voice sharp. "The merger's key. Keep the Thompsons happy." Was this all a business ploy? The question gnawed at her as preparations intensified. As the wedding loomed, Aubrey's internal conflict deepened. Mornings at the ranch began with Audrey's meticulous routines. Fresh coffee at dawn, followed by strategy sessions for the combined Thompson-Harrington empire. Aubrey, who had once dreamed of investigative journalism, now found herself relegated to consultant roles, her ideas dismissed unless they aligned with Audrey's vision. "Trust me, Aubrey," Audrey would say, her blue eyes intense. "I know what's best for us." The word hung heavy, a promise laced with possession. Aubrey tried to assert herself, suggesting changes to the ranch operations, eco-friendly practices she'd researched, but Audrey shot them down. Too risky. Stick to the plan. It felt like being molded, reshaped into Audrey's ideal partner. Yet, moments of tenderness pierced the armor. One rainy evening as thunder rolled over the hills, Audrey found Aubrey curled up with an old journal in the library. "What's this?" she asked, sitting close. "Just old dreams," Aubrey replied, closing the book. "Things I wanted before. All this." Audrey's fingers traced Aubrey's arm. "Tell me." Hesitant at first, Aubrey opened up about her passion for writing, the stories she'd shelved for family duty. Audrey listened, really listened, her usual dominance giving way to empathy. "I buried my dreams too," she admitted. "Art school, before the ranch took over." That night they talked until dawn, barriers crumbling. Audrey's kiss was softer, exploratory, igniting a warmth Aubrey hadn't anticipated. But the facade cracked when Aubrey discovered emails on Audrey's laptop, left open during a hurried meeting. Correspondence with Harlan. "The marriage secures the land rights. Aubrey's compliance is crucial." And worse, flirtatious messages to an ex, a woman named Lila from Houston. "Miss our nights. This arrangement is temporary." Betrayal hit like a gut punch. Was Audrey using her? The real feelings a ploy? Aubrey confronted her that evening in the kitchen, rain lashing the windows. "Is this all about the merger?" Aubrey demanded, voice trembling. Audrey's face paled. "What are you talking about?" "The emails. Lila. My father." Audrey sighed, rubbing her temples. "It's complicated. The business needs this. But you're more than that." "Am I?" Aubrey's eyes filled with tears. "Or am I just a convenient cover?" The argument escalated, words flying like daggers. Audrey accused Aubrey of hypocrisy. "You're the one who faked being gay," revealing she'd known all along, pieced together from family gossip. "I thought we could make it genuine," Audrey shouted. "But if you're doubting me." Aubrey stormed out, driving aimlessly through the storm-slicked roads. She ended up at a roadside diner, nursing coffee amid truckers and locals. There, she called her sister Mia, the only family member who'd suspected the truth. "It's falling apart," Aubrey sobbed into the phone. Mia's voice was steady. "Aub, you did this for us. But maybe it's time to live for you." Returning home at midnight, Aubrey found Audrey waiting, soaked from searching outside. "I was worried," Audrey said, pulling her into a hug. "Lila's the past. The merger. Yes, it started that way. But I fell for you, Aubrey. For real." They reconciled under the covers, whispers of forgiveness mingling with tentative touches. For a brief period, harmony reigned. Wedding plans proceeded, invitations sent to Dallas elite. Aubrey even started writing again, encouraged by Audrey's quiet support, a dedicated office space in the ranch house. But shadows lingered. At a pre-wedding gala in Austin, Lila appeared uninvited, her presence a spark to dry tinder. "Audrey's always been ambitious," Lila purred to Aubrey in the ladies' room. "Don't think you're special." Doubt resurfaced. Aubrey dug deeper, hiring a private investigator with her savings. The report arrived days before the wedding. Audrey had been negotiating a side deal with competitors, using Thompson assets as leverage. Betrayal confirmed. Confrontation 2 erupted in the barn, amid hay bales and the scent of leather. "You're selling us out?" Aubrey yelled. Audrey's eyes flashed. "It's business, Aubrey. To protect what we've built." "What we've built? Or what you've manipulated?" The fight turned physical. Not violent but a push, a shove, Aubrey fleeing to the house. She packed a bag, heart-shattering. But as she reached the door, Audrey blocked her, tears streaming. "Don't go. I love you." Aubrey paused, the words hanging. Was it true? Or another control tactic? The days leading to the wedding blurred into a whirlwind of rehearsals, fittings, and forced smiles. Aubrey wrestled with the investigators' findings, her love for Audrey clashing against the evidence of deceit. "Love isn't built on lies," she told herself, staring at the engagement ring. A massive solitaire that felt like a shackle. Yet, Audrey's efforts to mend fences were relentless. She canceled meetings, cooked Aubrey's favorite meals, shrimp and grits with a Texas twist, and shared vulnerable stories of her youth. "I grew up controlling everything because nothing was stable," Audrey confessed one night on the porch swing, stars twinkling above. "But with you I want partnership, not power." Aubrey wanted to believe her. Their intimacy deepened, not crossing into explicit territory, but through shared glances, lingering hugs, and quiet affirmations. A weekend getaway to the Gulf Coast helped. Walking hand in hand on Galveston Beach, salt air whipping their hair, Aubrey felt a genuine connection bloom. "Maybe we can rewrite this," she thought. But the high society of Dallas had other plans. Rumors swirled. Jake, Aubrey's brother, fueled by resentment over his past scandal, leaked details of the fake arrangement to tabloids. Headlines screamed, "Thompson heiress's sham lesbian wedding exposed?" The family imploded. Harlan called a crisis meeting at the mansion. "You're ruining us," he thundered at Aubrey. Eleanor wept. "We thought this would fix things." Audrey stood firm beside Aubrey. "This is real now. Back off." The confrontation revealed deeper betrayals. Harlan had pushed the marriage not just for merger, but to hide his own financial woes, debts that Audrey's empire would absorb. "You used me too," Aubrey accused her father. Harlan's face crumpled. "I did it for the family." Echoes of Aubrey's own rationale. In that moment she saw the cycle, the lies perpetuated for peace. She stormed out, Audrey following. Back at the ranch they talked through the night. Audrey admitted her side deal was a hedge against Harlan's instability. "I was protecting us," she said. "But I should have told you." Forgiveness came slowly, built on honesty. Aubrey shared her full story, the fake coming out, the buried dreams. "I don't even know who I am anymore." Audrey took her hand. "Let's find out together." The wedding day arrived under a clear Texas sky. The ranch transformed into a fairy tale venue with white tents, wildflowers, and string lights. Guests murmured about the scandals, but Aubrey walked the aisle with resolve, her white gown flowing like a river. Audrey waited at the altar, stunning in a tailored tuxedo, eyes brimming with emotion. Vows exchanged, rings slipped on, and as they kissed to applause, Aubrey felt a spark of true hope. But drama wasn't done. During the reception, Lila crashed, drunk and vengeful, accusing Audrey of ongoing affairs. "She's playing you, sweetie." Chaos ensued. Guests gasping, Harlan intervening. Audrey denied it vehemently, but Aubrey's trust wavered. She fled to the stables, collapsing in tears amid the horses. Audrey found her. "Lila's lying. She's bitter because I ended it years ago." Proof came via phone records, exonerating Audrey. But the damage was done. Aubrey questioned everything. "How do I know what's real?" Audrey knelt. "Because I'm here fighting for us. That's real." They returned to the party, united, but the seed of doubt lingered. Post-honeymoon, in a cozy cabin in the Rockies, the real work began. Therapy sessions in Denver unpacked layers. Aubrey's people-pleasing, Audrey's control issues. Months passed. The merger proceeded, but with transparency. Aubrey revived her writing, penning articles on LGBTQ+ issues in conservative states. Drawing from her journey, Audrey supported her, loosening her grip, learning to collaborate. Yet, conflict resurfaced when Audrey's ex-partner in business, a shady investor, threatened blackmail over old dealings. "Pay up or I expose everything," the note read. Audrey hid it at first, her old habits dying hard. When Aubrey discovered it, fury ignited. You promised no more secrets. I was handling it, Audrey snapped. Alone? That's the problem. The argument peaked in their bedroom, voices echoing off wooden beams. Aubrey threatened to leave. I won't be controlled. Audrey broke down, sobbing. I'm scared of losing you. In that vulnerability they reconnected, vowing true partnership. Together they confronted the blackmailer, involving authorities. The threat dissolved, strengthening their bond. Life after the wedding settled into a rhythm, but not without ripples. Aubrey and Audrey's marriage became a beacon in Texas circles. Two women navigating love amid scandal, inspiring hushed conversations at galas and brunches. Aubrey's articles gained traction, published in national magazines, chronicling the nuances of identity in the South. From facade to freedom, one piece titled resonated deeply. Audrey too evolved. She delegated more at the company, hiring a COO to share the load, freeing time for couples retreats and spontaneous dates. Picnics in bluebonnet fields, drives along the Brazos River. Their love deepened, marked by small acts. Audrey leaving notes in Aubrey's laptop, Aubrey surprising her with homemade pecan pie. But old wounds festered. Jake, Aubrey's brother, resurfaced with demands for money, blaming her lifestyle for family strife. You started this mess, he sneered during a tense visit. Aubrey stood tall. No, we all did. Time to own it. The encounter stirred Audrey's protective instincts, leading to overreach. She cut Jake off financially without consulting Aubrey. I won't let him hurt you. Aubrey exploded. That's not your call. You're controlling again. The fight exposed lingering issues. Therapy intensified, peeling back layers. Audrey admitted her fear. Control is my armor. Without it, I'm exposed. Aubrey softened. You don't need armor with me. Reconciliation came through action. They volunteered at a Dallas LGBTQ+ center, mentoring youth in similar binds. Seeing kids grapple with identity mirrored Aubrey's past, fostering empathy in Audrey. High drama struck when a corporate rival targeted their merged company, spreading rumors of fraud tied to the blackmail incident. Stock plummeted. Board members panicked. Audrey worked tirelessly, but stress cracked her facade. One night, she collapsed from exhaustion. In the hospital, Aubrey held her hand. We're in this together. No more solo heroics. Audrey nodded weakly. I promise. Recovery brought clarity. They restructured the business, emphasizing ethics over expansion. Aubrey's writing flourished, a book deal on the horizon, a memoir of their journey. Yet, the ultimate test came from within. Aubrey discovered she was bisexual, not fully lesbian as she pretended. Confessing to Audrey was terrifying. Does this change us? Audrey paused, then smiled. Only if we let it. I love you, not a label. Their bond solidified, but external pressures mounted. Eleanor's health declined. A stroke, pulling the family together. At the bedside, truths emerged. Eleanor's own suppressed feelings, a youthful love for a woman buried for societal norms. I pushed you into this to avoid my regrets, Eleanor whispered. Aubrey forgave, healing generational scars. Harlan, too, softened, attending pride events with them. As years ticked by, 2 now since the wedding, their love matured into something profound. A quiet anniversary dinner at home, candlelight flickering. Audrey proposed again, properly. Will you stay for real? Aubrey laughed through tears. Always. But fate twisted. Audrey's routine checkup revealed early-stage cancer, a shadow over their sunlit life. Drama returned, not from betrayal but biology. Chemotherapy sessions in Austin. Aubrey by her side, holding hands through nausea and fear. I can't lose you, Aubrey whispered. You won't, Audrey vowed, her voice steady despite frailty. The battle tested them. Audrey's control slipped. She leaned on Aubrey, vulnerability raw. Friends rallied. Mia organizing meal trains, Jake redeeming himself with support. In quiet moments they reflected. This started fake, Aubrey said one evening, watching sunset from the porch. But it became our truth, Audrey replied. Remission came after grueling months, a miracle wrapped in science and love. They emerged stronger, advocating for health awareness in LGBTQ+ communities. Life resumed, enriched. Aubrey's book launched to acclaim, dedicating it to Audrey. For the woman who turned my lie into love. Their story inspired others. A young couple at the center crediting them for courage. Yet, in the human vein, imperfections remained. Arguments over trivialities, but resolved with communication honed by trials. As the Texas seasons cycled, scorching summers giving way to crisp falls, Aubrey and Audrey's marriage evolved into a testament of resilience. The ranch, once a symbol of control, became a haven. They hosted retreats for queer couples, sharing their story of deception to authenticity. Aubrey's journalism career soared. She traveled for speaking engagements, always returning to Audrey's arms. "Missed you," became their ritual greeting, sealed with kisses. But life, ever dramatic, threw one final curve. An anonymous letter arrived. Audrey's hiding assets. Divorce now. Enclosed were documents suggesting embezzlement. Aubrey's heart sank. Not again. Confronting Audrey in the study, papers in hand. "Explain." Audrey's face drained of color. "It's a setup. The rival from before. They're retaliating." Investigation revealed the truth. Forged papers by the disgruntled competitor. But the scare unearthed Audrey's last secret. A trust fund for Aubrey, set up secretly. "In case something happens to me," Audrey explained. "After the cancer." Aubrey's anger melted. No more secrets. Ever. They sued the rival, winning decisively, channeling proceeds to charities. With scars healed, their love deepened into quiet profundity. Walks hand in hand through wildflower meadows, discussions on philosophy and dreams. Aubrey explored her bisexuality openly, with Audrey's unwavering support. No jealousy, only growth. Family ties mended fully. Holidays at the Dallas mansion included partners of all orientations, laughter replacing tension. Jake found sobriety and purpose, crediting Aubrey's forgiveness. In a poignant twist, they adopted a rescue dog. A scruffy mutt named Harmony, symbolizing their journey from chaos to peace. Years later, on their 10th anniversary, under the same starlit sky where doubts once loomed, they renewed vows. Friends and family gathered, toasts to endurance. "You turned my world upside down," Audrey said, eyes shining. "For the better," Aubrey replied. The story closed not with fairy tale perfection, but human triumph, love forged in fire, enduring through betrayal and trial. In the end, what began as a fake for family peace blossomed into a real, profound union, teaching that authenticity, though painful, leads to true harmony. Aubrey looked back on that first slammed door, the hook that pulled her into this whirlwind. It wasn't just survival, it was rebirth. And in Audrey's embrace, she found not control but freedom.